Good afternoon. The Department of Innovation within the Ministry of Education is coming to you live from Constitution Park for the afternoon edition of this Expo for Youth and Innovation and Resilience. The promotional support being furnished, of course, by the government of St. Lucia and the Caribbean Development Bank. Good day to you all. And by the way, I said Caribbean Development Bank, the CDB, is in St. Lucia as we host the 53rd annual meeting of the Board of Governors, chaired by our Prime Minister, Philip J. Pierre, from the 12th to 23rd of June. The Caribbean Development Bank is committed to helping borrowing member countries reduce inequality and halve the incidence of extreme poverty by the end of 2025 through supporting inclusive and sustainable growth and promoting good governance. For those of you within the sound of my voice in the City Basin, you are welcome to join us as we display entrepreneurship and innovation by some of the outstanding, ingenious, and industrious citizens and businesses here on island. At this juncture, we beg your indulgence in a panel dialogue on the significance, the value of co-creators, entrepreneurs meeting up like this among each other and before you, the general public, for synergistic outcomes, the expansion of industry and economy, and the reduction of poverty in our region. This panel discussion is part of the Youth for Innovation and Resilience series happening for this week. My name is Jessie Leonce, and I will be steering this afternoon's panel, and I hope that we can keep it light, breezy, engaging but easy on your ears for those of you who have been plunged into the after-lunch ethnic fatigue. I'm joined by an esteemed panel. Good afternoon to you all. We have Kimberly Gittins. She's from the CDB. She's a social analyst. We have Linnell Mauser, St. Lucia's Director for Innovation. We have Carmi Joseph, Corporate Communications Officer from the St. Lucia Electricity Services, Lucelec. And Mr. Thomas Leonce, Thornamon Roses, from the Youth Economy Agency. He's the chairman on the board of directors. A pleasant good afternoon to you all. Thank you so much for being here today. Malzer, I want to begin with you. If you could just briefly tell us, first of all, congratulations on a great showcase today. Tell us what are we beholding today? We see demonstrations, displays, exhibits. What is it that we are looking at today?
Well, we were very happy to see that there was a full showing of entrepreneurs in this space, and the city has welcomed them and given them their eyes, their ears, and even their pockets. We were happy that our entrepreneurs got an opportunity to come out and showcase what they're best at, and for some of them, what we've been hiding in the back rooms of their hearts, to actually be bold and brave and courageous and say to people, this is what I do and this is what I'm best at. And collect some information while they're at it, find out whether people have any ideas to share, how they can improve, what's excellent, because sometimes, Jesse, we need a boost of confidence. So this space here today is a representation of empowering these entrepreneurs, those who are established, those who are up and coming, and those who are in the middle. If you walk around the space, Jesse, you'd realize we have established entrepreneurs such as Invictus, starting on our corridor here, and then we go to the more smaller enterprises, those who are just starting up, who are building their clientele, who are building their presence. They may not have as much branding, but certainly what they have to share with the city and they have to share with St. Lucia and with all of the CDB islands, it is amazing.
Wonderful. And now I come to you, Ms. Gittins. First of all, where are you from? Welcome to St. Lucia.
Hello, I'm from the Caribbean. The bank covers 19 borrowing member countries, including St. Lucia, but we are based in Barbados, and I'm a Barbadian, but I prefer to refer to myself as a citizen of the Caribbean.
Citizen of the Caribbean, wonderful. And certainly you would have had the opportunity to oversee, to take a look at all that the Caribbean region has to offer, particularly those that the CDB serves. Tell us what has been your impression of St. Lucia, particularly what we have to offer in terms of the innovation, the business, the dedication to developing business here on island as compared to, looking at contrast and comparison to the other islands. Where are we and what are your impressions generally?
Well, I want to just share very quickly why CDB is working with the partners on this initiative, and then I'll come back to your question in a more targeted
No
way.
problem.
So, as you indicated, it's our 53rd annual meeting of our Board of Governors. And as a Hello, great. And as a part of our Board of Governors meeting, the bank always hosts a forum for young people. It was called Vibesing in the past, but we've rebranded it Youth for Innovation and Resilience. It's our youth fire because there's a fire in the bones of the young people across our region, and we want to be a part of that process of bringing that forward. So for the past few days, we've had a number of initiatives, and this is the culmination of our Youth Fire program in St. Lucia. We had a similar initiative in Trinidad in 2019. The brightest, the most innovative young entrepreneurs and innovators putting their works on display. And I want to say that pound for pound, St. Lucia as a small island is on par with what we've been seeing across the region. A lot of innovation. We were actually joined by Johannan Dujon and Keithlyn Carew on Tuesday, also Coyote from Real 3D Printing. And what we've seen really, I think, gives us a hope that there's a lot of innovation and entrepreneurship that will drive our countries forward.
Okay, wonderful. If you just speak to us a little bit about, the youth aspect of things, how important is it, based on your assessment, in empowering the youth to be able to think big and to think outside the box?
Of course, and we heard that from our speakers on Tuesday. The fact is that from living in small island states, sometimes your vision is smaller than it should be. And when Johannan addressed our innovators and entrepreneurs, that is the one thing he encouraged them to do. Think beyond the borders of your small island states. And I think that is what we know, that this is just a small showcase, but with the media coverage and with the visibility that will come because CDB is a partner, we're hoping that it will really catapult our young people to see beyond where they are, to see that there are key partners that are interested in creating that opportunity for them to thrive and really grab hold of the opportunity.
Wonderful, thank you. So we're moving along with the panel. If you're just joining us, a special good day to you. Just to let you know, if you're on the move, you can't stick around. We are now live on the Facebook and YouTube platforms of St. Lucia's Ministry of Education. You can join us there. And I want to engage the Corporate Communications Officer at Lucelec. We have Ms. Carmi Joseph joining us. And of course, Lucelec is, I should say, exemplary in its demonstration of support for businesses here on island, particularly startups, supporting young persons in developing their businesses. Carmi, speak to us about the significance of that and why Lucelec has gone in this direction, the significance of partnering for activities like this here today.
Thank you. Good afternoon for having me, Jesse, and for having Lucelec be a part of this forum. Mr. Nel Malze is very persistent, and the CDB as well. Actually, it's very important that I heard the word power a number of times throughout both of their responses, and we like the word power very much, being the company that delivers power to our people. This forum speaks to a number of pillars in our own corporate social responsibility, which is we want to and we always embrace youth causes. We love the idea of innovation and resilience because we are in the business of electricity generation, power generation. But we also really like the idea of letting our people, especially our young people, find ways to make their passions and their dreams become their actual profession. There is a misconception that if you love doing something, if this is your talent, that you cannot use it to make it your career or for it to be what sustains or feeds you. And we support both youth entrepreneurship, but also the idea of allowing our people to see beyond just the borders of St. Lucia and work towards that. It is one of the reasons why Lucelec, for example, has always sponsored a SPICE student, because it is a chance for students to get out there, go to UE and get training in actual innovation and resilience, and to expose them to college level classes and everything else. So this is an extension of that. We love the idea of having young people showcase what they are great at, and having it in the park where anybody can walk around and see it is an extra bonus. And we really appreciate this partnership for trying to find a way to allow Lucelec to be part of this whole experience, as opposed to just asking us to fund it. So thank you. Thank you for dragging us out here on this Friday afternoon. It's very nice here. So yeah, we're very happy to be here and to partner on this initiative.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Carmi. And to you, Thomas Leonce, Chairman at the recently established Youth Economy Agency. Of course, what we're seeing here today is what is inspiring this brainchild of our Prime Minister. Could you speak to some of the support services that are being provided by the agency and how the average St. Lucian who has an idea, who has a dream, a young person who is innovative, thinking outside the box and with ideas beyond what the region can contain, how can they come to the Youth Economy Agency and have their dreams realized or jump-started?
Thank you, Jesse. Before I delve into that aspect of things, I just want to indicate how proud I am to see among the young persons who are in the exposition today. I've seen some of them who have been through our doors already and who have received support from the Youth Economy Agency. I see participants involved in customized gift items. See those who are involved in value adding to the CMOS products. So not just the raw CMOS, but they're doing other things with it, adding value. I see those who are using our local produce, or ground provisions, as they call it. So instead of importing our white potatoes, they're now using our dasheen, our breadfruit, our plantain to make something out of it, yeah? And there's also an additional, what do you call it, Kami?
Well, I just like to say that we prefer the dasheen and the stuffed chips than the actual food in our plate there, but that's a whole other story.
And then at the cutting edge of technology, we have persons involved in 3D printing, where you can practically customize practically anything, whether it be, well, I think right now he's focusing on plastics, but I think at some point he might graduate to doing metal fabrication. Yeah. So very proud of that the youth economy is real, it's alive, and we're moving ahead. As at the end of May, we had received over 600 applications for grant support and over 150 applications for loan support. The average amount that we issue for grant support is about 5,000 EC. I'd like to call that an investment into your business. I don't call it free money. Some people have referred to free money before, but it's an investment in your business that you don't need to pay back to us. Yeah? But the loan, however, the maximum amount that you'll get in a loan is about 30,000 EC, but you will be required to pay that very concessionary terms. It's almost like a grant in itself because the terms are so concessionary. It makes me wish I was younger, that I could access those facilities. So the opportunities that are available for the youth economy is tremendous. In addition to the financing, we provide training. We just completed 50 hours of training over a 3-week period in business planning, which is so fundamental and so critical. And I think some of the participants can bear testimony to that, of how important that was for them. And having completed that training, they were required to pitch their final business plan to a panel. And if the plan was successful or accepted by the panel, they're going to get a grant of 5,000 EC dollars. That's separate and apart from the regular grant scheme that we have with Youth Economy Agency here. So we'll have the graduation for that next week, Tuesday, at the Bay Gardens Hotel, where about 92 young persons will be receiving this certificate of participation and a possible 5,000 EC for their business.
Brilliant.
We also do mentoring. We just launched our mentoring program, where I think about 20 young persons will be attached to entrepreneurs who have seasoned experience in their own business, so that they can pass on the knowledge to the young persons, the pitfalls, what the do's and don'ts, so that they don't make the same mistakes over and over, and they can move ahead faster. Yeah? So that's it. The 3 prongs really would be the financing, loans and grants, the training, the mentorship. Yeah? And that's what we're about, and we're moving ahead, and like I said, I forgot to mention, we currently, we're closing our negotiations with CDB. So by next week, at the Board of Governors meeting, there will be some announcement of some significant support by the CDB for the Youth Economy Agency. It will be so significant that we will need to have more staff to implement what the program of the Youth Economy Agency are. We'll need more space to put more persons, and it'll cause us to accelerate the delivery of our services to the young persons of St. Lucia. Thank you, Carmen.
And as somebody who's involved in external communications, I should also point out that my passion is social media and being able to get your message out there. And this Youth Employment Agency, their social media, and just amazing. It is innovative, it is bright, it attracts attention. They're able to give every single bit of information that you need So, Thomas, you should really, kudos to your team. Your team does an amazing job.
Could you put that in writing? This gleaming commendation of the Youth Economy Agency, Kimberly?
Yeah, I want to make a point, and I'm really excited. I know that the team in CDB that works with St. Lucia has put a lot of time and thought and worked very closely with the ministries, departments, and agencies, as well as other stakeholders, to get to the point of the projects that you are discussing. And we really know that it will redound to the good of the young people of St. Lucia and to the broader country. Yes. I also wanted to signal that research shows that there is a nexus, there's a correlation between youth unemployment and underemployment and crime and violence. It is all interlinked. And I think the efforts to scale up the strategies to address the marginalization or exclusion of young people and to really ensure that they are participating in and contributing to economic development is absolutely essential for their own self-actualization and, of course, for the country to achieve those sustainable development goals that are critical, yes? So that is something that we have to bear in mind. Youth is a stage of transition. It is the point where they're at the peak of creativity and ingenuity. And very often, if that is not harnessed and channeled in a positive direction, it can result in persons moving, yes, in directions where they're involved in risk-taking behaviors. So all of these interventions and the importance of partnerships, very important, critical. I want to signal that the bank's Youth Fire program has taken on this shape because of our consultations with young people across the region. So as CDB, when we work on youth-targeted interventions, it is based on our consultation and meaningful engagement with young people from across our 19 BMCs. So the opportunity to showcase their innovative products and services is driven by the need that they have expressed and a need that the bank has responded to in quick time. And I just wanted to be able to signal, I think it is important that we create opportunities not just in this way, but to give our young people a seat at the table. There's a lot that they bring in terms of the decision making to make what we are doing more relevant. And it means that they also see the value of their contribution. So they're empowered in multiple ways when we create those seats and we demonstrate to them that we're taking actions based on their recommendations.
It's more than just giving them a seat at a cubicle. It is empowering them. It is making them explore the very essence of themselves.
And being accountable for the commitments we make to them as well.
I think that's the best way to reduce poverty in our region.
I'm not sure if I have sound. But just a testimonial. This morning, a child said to his mother as he was on his way to school, they normally take another route. He said, I want to go through there. I want to go through there this morning. And for me, that's an opportunity to plant a seed. So as this little child walked through the aisle, he was able to see people from his community that he recognized doing amazing things. He was able to see maybe things that interest him. Because you know there's the power of cultural capital. If you've never seen it, you don't know it. And like I was told that Mr. Dujon shared, we need to open or widen the scope of what we know and what we can do. And only then will we see true growth in our society. Another testimonial that came out of this morning's experience is I realized there's quite a bit of networking, Jesse, happening. They're leaving their booths, they're meeting other entrepreneurs, and they're also recognizing, you know, we have certain things in common, certain spaces in common, certain things that we subscribe to that we can share value on. Sometimes when you procure items, it can be quite costly to bring them in, but if you bring them in larger quantities. So they've taken the initiative to form those alliances right here, those cooperatives, futuristically, that can help to ease their pains and solve their problems, in other words. So I'm very happy that this is the success of Youth Economy. This is the success of Lucilex, seeing how their monies are being well used. And this is the success of CDB through their initiatives, bringing things to life.
Wonderful. Ms. Malze, of course, Mr. Leonce indicated that they're churning out 92 graduates. And this is, I mean, by fraction of the innovation that we have here in St. Lucia. What can we expect from the Department of Innovation going forward from this, branching off from this and other successes of your department going forward in supporting the youth in their endeavors?
Jesse, for me, this activity is a game changer. Reason being, a lot of persons, they hear the word innovation in the nomenclature of the ministry, but they don't know where to find us, they don't know where we are. Now that they see what we're involved in, they can meet us face to face in this space and say, where are you? We're at Goodlands in the Hasashi complex. We have a phone line, 468-3250. And when they see other entrepreneurs doing similar things like these, then they can recognize that they can seek out the assistance from the innovation division. We are looking to open people's minds, broaden their perspectives, help them realize those prototypes. In a lot of the cases, people have ideas in their head. Eku sav set lisi any shy idea. So, to set this any idea. So we want to shift that idea from in your head to on the paper, to trying a thing, to seeing if it works, to failing fast, to trying it again, to adding value, to empathizing, to looking at how it interacts with the possible client or your customer base, and making it something viable that you can actually make a living out of it, engage other people in the ecosystem, and shift the trajectory in St. Lucia, change St. Lucia from the history of the unemployment rate of X, Y, and Z to St. Lucians have surpassed their employability capacity, that every St. Lucian is employed because we've created industry enough to do that. So that's what we're working on. We're not looking at the 1 week goal, the 1 year goal. We're projecting the 20 years from now, the 50 years from now, how we'd like to see St. Lucia as a complete sustainable island.
And Ms. Gittins, back to you. I just wanted to know where from here, in terms of the fire initiative, how can it mushroom into something even bigger and benefit the borrowing countries?
One would have thought that given COVID and all of the technology we've had to interface with, I would be an expert, yes? But no, I think that's an excellent question. And as I said, our Youth Fire program is based on our interaction with and our recommendations from our young people across the BMCs. One of the other areas in which we heard from our young people and the bank has responded was to develop an institutional mechanism for young people to be very much integrated into the work of the bank. And so on Tuesday, at the opening of our Youth Fire program, CDB launched its Future Leaders Network. And that network is comprised of young people between the ages of 18 to 35, working with CDB as advisors. So it's a network, a mechanism where we seek advice from young people, where they advocate for the critical work they're doing. Already they're change agents and advocates, and we want to be able to support them as they amplify their voices. They will help us with coordination of our interactions with young people in country as well. And critically, there's an innovation component of the work they do. So quite a lot of what Ms. Malzer spoke about in terms of the design thinking and the moving through from the ideation to coming up with a viable product. And so we are working with a team of young people who apply to the bank to be a part of our network. So notwithstanding the great work the bank does, is establish programs supporting entrepreneurship. We have a program that has been built out as well with young people across the region. The expectation is that they will also work with a broader group of young people to help CDB move the Youth Fire aspect of its work forward. So the expectation is, and the commitment they've given themselves, is that within a year's time, based on the capacity that's been built, based on their areas of expertise, that they will be able to come back and demonstrate where they have been able to move the needle a bit further so that they can demonstrate the tangible outcomes of that closer collaboration with CDB. So of course, we have also been connecting some of the young people we've met here with each other, previous cohorts of young people who have benefited from CDB's capacity building interventions. We have, through a presentation made at our forum by Coyote and Chris from Real 3D Printing, there's already connections in CDB communicating about the great work and identifying opportunities with projects that are coming on board. And so there's more than one avenue coming out of this. We don't want to pigeonhole ourselves, to limit it to the Youth Fire program of work, but to say that there are many avenues for synergies to be built coming out of this kind of interaction with young people from across the region and across St. Lucia.
Okay, so we're coming to the end of our quick panel discourse. I promise you we kept it light, easy on your ears and your stomachs and your mind. Just final words, Carmi?
I really want to piggyback on something that was said earlier in relation to young people and getting involved with them from the ground up. This is the reason why Lucelec works with the SSDF in terms of helping out our boys at risk. Essentially, that's what the program is called. And it's a way because we realize that a lot of our young males were dropping out of school. And when we lose so many of our young males, we lose so much of what is important to our countries. So the Our Boys Matter program actually encourages guidance counselors to seek out the young males who actually need the early and immediate intervention. And when you say intervention, it's not just giving them encouraging them to come to school. But if they're having a difficult time paying for their bus or getting school books, the program actually pays for all that. And when you spend a lot of money and time spent on trying to fund a number of projects, Lucelec focuses its attention as it does because we want to make impact. We literally think of ourselves as we are the ones who empower. We are empowering our country's success. And we can only do that if we have a definite idea of what we're trying to do and we work with partners to achieve that. And to be able to let young people know that they can innovate, that they can find ways to make their passion, their sustainable living, it is very important for us to be able to fund those dreams because we are in the business of generating power, but we are trying to move away from doing it solely through fossil fuels. We like to hear that there are people like Eco-Carib on island who are going to encourage St. Lucians to use the natural sunshine that we are being blessed with right now to generate their own power and to save on their electricity bill every month. So this is a really good forum. We are very excited to be here, like we said earlier, and we wish the Department of Innovation all the success, and we congratulate CDB on seeing the value in listening to and including young people in the work that they're doing.
Mr. Leonce?
Thank you, Jesse. So what we would like to do, as I indicated earlier on, is to really accelerate the rate at which we give out grants and loans so that we can realize the benefits faster. Yeah? And also, I want to reiterate on what Ms. Gittins indicated earlier on, that the linkages that are being formed among the participants in the business planning training, among those who have received grant summers already, that is what the youth economy is all about, creating an economy of young persons. So the intention is already being realized, you know. What we want to do more of as well is more training, especially in the area of bookkeeping and records. What we found is that a lot of business persons commingle the funds. They commingle the personal funds from the business funds. So sometimes they don't even know if they're making a profit from running the business, because everything is all mixed up like a bouillon. So they're offering training in bookkeeping and records. We'll be offering training in digital marketing, focusing a lot on social media, which is a lot less expensive than traditional media. So in terms of new things, that's the direction we're going in, apart from giving more money, you know. So that's it for us, Jesse, and thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Ms. Gittins, CDB?
Yes, I just want to acknowledge, I think, the collaboration and the really strong partnerships that have emerged since we came to St. Lucia and started these discussions. Very early on, the Youth Economy Agency team, certainly the Ministry of Youth Development and Sports, the St. Lucia National Youth Council, the young people who formed the executive at the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, representatives from your social development ministry, and the strong leadership I want to circle back to by the Innovation Division. It has been nothing short of amazing. And I know more recently we've also expanded the partnership, and Lucelec, given their strong interest in young people and driving the youth economy as well, they have come on board. So what I am seeing is that there's a network of persons within the private sector, within the civil society, within your government agencies, keen on accelerating these investments in young people, seeing that there's no development if our young people are on the margins. And so the work that we're doing aligns with the bank's strategic plan, It harkens back to the commitment that we made when the bank was established and began its operations in 1970 to contribute to the economic growth and development, harmonious economic growth and development of our borrowing member countries, and the bank still stands by that. And so these initiatives that support resilience within our young people and resilience across our countries are at the heart of what we do.
And finally, last but certainly not least, Ms. Malzer.
I want to first say thank you, Jessie, for always being such a wonderful host.
Oh, stop
yes,
it.
and showing up for the Innovation Division.
Okay.
Can I get applause for Jessie?
Thank you, Ms. Malzer.
Yes, please. Jessie, St. Lucia is going places. St. Lucia has gone places. In fact, just returned from a showing in Dubai. We're doing global things. We're no longer as small as we perceive. And it's opportunities like these that help us to recognize that we are more than we esteem ourselves. One of the things that holds back a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of inventors is that they may not perceive themselves to the scale that they really are. And we want to prepare them for that big launch into the world. We want to give them the stage and the ambience and the feel and the experience of a global stage so that when they get into that space, they can accelerate and excel beyond the expectations. Importantly, Jessie, I don't know if it's because we often say we have 2 Nobel laureates. St. Lucians are very ambitious, and there are lots of ambitious projects happening as we speak.
We have Nobel laureates in waiting.
Yes, we do. And so, Jessie, I just want to encourage anyone who's passing by at this moment, anyone who's listening to the live now or listening to a rerun later, to pick up that courage as reiterated by our feature address on Tuesday by Mr. Saul. Pick up that courage to take that first step towards bringing your ideas to life. And if we see more people doing that, whether through the Innovation Division or bringing the ideas for support through Youth Economy or saying, you know what, CDB, it's so big, it's big enough for you, then we will certainly be on the step to saying, thank you so much, CDB, for all your services. St. Lucia is no longer in need of your service. And when that day comes, I can say that we would proudly have achieved our goal. But Jessie, I want to encourage all St. Lucians to step out and innovate, like our theme said for 2023. Do not hide behind persons' perceptions of you on what you're doing. Speak your truth in the correct spaces so people can hear, point you in the correct direction. There's always help to help accelerate you from one point to the other. It may not be money, it may be time, it may be expertise.
Wonderful. There's always help to help accelerate youth in one way or another. We leave you with that. On that note, we hope everyone within the sound of our voices have listened intently and taken in these not only directives and admonition, but inspiring words from our panelists, Ms. Malzer, Director of Innovation. We have Ms. Gittens, a CDB social analyst, also Carmi Joseph from Lucelec. She's a corporate communications guru, and Thomas Leos over at the Youth Economy Agency, already hit the ground running and making such a huge impact here in St. Lucia. Thank you all for speaking to us today and providing insights to the general public. You are watching and you are listening to the goings on from Constitution Park, live from Constitution Park in Castries. It is a youth expo being put on by the government of St. Lucia and the Caribbean Development Bank. Of course, CDB has definitely put their stamp on their, on the presence here for the Board of Governors meeting this month. So thank you once again for listening. Do stay tuned for more of the engagements. I know there is a roving production team going about at the various exhibition points. So keep an eye and ear out for them and continue to patronize, support, listen a little bit to what the exhibitors have to say and offer. Goodbye. My name is Jessie Leon signing off. Take care.